everybody! Thank you so much for the honor. I'm really sorry I can't be there with you today, but I'm based out of London and I couldn't make it over. But I thought this would give you a good chance on this video to show you a little bit of what I do. I'm a sustainability consultant at KLH Sustainability here in London. What we do is we work with architects, engineers, contractors, and it's really to make sure that every part of development and construction is done in a sustainable way. It's making sure that it's done with the environment and the local community in mind. So this is the main project that I work on here. When they did the London 2012 games, they tried to make it be the greenest games ever, and they're trying to keep that spirit alive in the legacy transformation of the park. So right now, I'm working on these two neighborhoods, Eastwick and Sweetwater, which are going to be some of the greenest neighborhoods in the country, if not maybe the world, I don't know. So it's 1,500 homes in two neighborhoods, Eastwick, which is behind me, and Sweetwater, which is of that direction. And they're zero carbon, which means they're basically neutral when it comes to carbon emissions. And they do that by being energy efficient buildings themselves, but also renewable energy like solar PV. We're standing in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, standing outside the Olympic Stadium. So the Olympic Stadium transformation was one of the projects that I've been working on. The stadium was used for the Olympic Games of 2012 and held 80,000 people, but it was meant to be a temporary stadium at the time until they decided afterwards that they wanted to keep it and reuse it. So now it's going to be the West Ham football stadium. And so we worked on the transformation of the stadium to a 60,000 seat venue and stadium. And part of what we did was working on the sustainability of it. So that was making sure that the amount of concrete that was used was as lean as possible to reduce the carbon footprint of the stadium, making sure the materials that were used for it, such as steel and the timber, were responsibly sourced, making sure that the building was built to be energy efficient and water efficient, and making sure that it was accessible to people when they entered. So my background's in urban planning, but that wasn't what I wanted to get into when I was growing up. I originally wanted to become a lawyer from a very young age. That was the number one thing I wanted to do. You know, I was in New York for a little while after college, and I moved back to Chicago. And I found an organization, the Alliance for the Great Lakes, and I started volunteering with them. And it really connected me with the time that I spent volunteering at the Great Lakes Aquarium in Duluth, and connecting me back into water, the Great Lakes, and the environment. And that was sort of how, it's sort of the angle of urban planning that I started getting into. I worked in that for a few years in Chicago, and then I ended up moving to London and not sure where to start, and I found this sustainability organization that turned out to be a really great fit. It's not exactly urban planning, but I work with planners all the time. And it's really nice working in construction as well, to actually see what happens, to see what gets built from the sort of plans and policies that I implement. I'm really thankful for my time at Marshall. It really taught me how to think on my feet and problem solve, which is helpful in the type of job that I have, where things are not the same from day to day, and there's always new challenges and things to problem solve and follow through with.